All right, we've learned about the artist Michel Basquiat. Today we're going to be painting our background. First thing you always want to do, write your name and your teacher's name nice and neatly in the middle on the back. And now your messy met's at the same size as your paper, so you're going to kind of have to move your picture when you start painting. You don't have to paint anything realistic, so there's going to be kind of some fun paintbrush strokes you're going to try out today. I want you to start with your lightest color, and you're just going to paint areas on your picture. You don't have to necessarily paint something recognizable, but whenever you are painting, just pay attention to what you're doing and kind of notice some of the strokes of your brush. We can use small little strokes like that. We can use smooth strokes like that to smooth out some of the paint. And some people like to use those smooth strokes to make some kind of interesting shapes. And smoothing those things out is kind of what I want you guys to pay attention to and just to look at. And then these small strokes, sometimes we don't have to smooth out the paint. We can just kind of leave them like that. So whatever your color is, choose, not whatever your color is, whatever your brush stroke is, just think about it and choose it however you want. But start with the yellow. And then when you're finished, you're not going to get water to rinse out your brush. You are just going to go ahead and rinse out your brush. Not rinse out your brush. You're going to go to the next color and you're going to paint in some more. You can overlap some of your colors. You can paint on top of some of the things that you've already painted. Oops, don't want to get too much paint on the table, obviously. So you're going to kind of think about that. And again, it doesn't have to look smooth. You can leave some of those brush strokes, making them look a little bit not smoothed out, but try not to get paint on yourself or the table. Once you have that part done and you have kind of some of those colors filled in, and again, you don't have to paint anything realistic. It can be kind of just whatever you feel like, smoothing out some of those things. I do want you just to get all of the white spots filled in. We're going to be using some other things on top of this. So just get those white spots filled in. And you can overlap, like I'm overlapping my yellow a little bit. I want to see some of the yellow still. All right, and then you're going to go to your last color. I'm not going to mix these too much. If I mix them too much, then they sometimes will get a little bit kind of too blended together. Now my red and my blue, when I mix them together, will make a little bit of a purple color at first, and then it'll turn into more blue. But I like some of these streaks I'm seeing right now. Some of my purple streaks are kind of cool. All right, and then I'm going to stop it, and then I'll come back when I'm finished with the blue. All right, so I finished most of my blue. I'm going to kind of go back with a little bit more of this neon red color. And since I had a lot of blue on my paintbrush, it's turning to a much more purpley color, which is kind of cool. So I'm going to pay attention to where I'm putting that on my picture. And I can go back and kind of overlap some of my other things. So I have this purple now on my brush. It's kind of interesting. I'm liking it. So I'm going to put a little bit of spots because I have a few more white spots on my painting left. Most of my painting is filled up though. If I go to my yellow, I might mix some of the other colors in with it. So I want to be careful going back to my yellow, but I might want a few more colors overlapping some of the other things. Like I have some yellow kind of overlapping some of these other colors. That might be interesting. Just some lines here and there. Again, just pay attention to kind of what you think looks interesting. Not necessarily painting anything realistic, but I do want to pay attention to what I'm doing. I don't want to just kind of fill in a page. I want to look and see what looks neat to me. And then when you're finished, you're going to raise your hand. I will get your paintbrush and we will use these again next week.